And what is your role then? Because
My role?
Yeah.
Well, I had some music also.
He wrote all the music on 5 of the songs. Or 4 of the songs.
I think 3. 3 of the songs, and I think with both of these guys, they have really good ideas, but they want executed a certain way, you know.
And
So
we're
I
not
felt-
good enough to execute it ourselves.
Well, not to put it so much like that, but I think having a bunch of instruments out there and having me there and saying, oh, well, why don't we try marimba on this part? Or Jim would say, well, I have an idea for this bass line. It kind of goes like this, you know? And then I'd maybe take that and kind of run with it, you know? Or trying to make things cohesive musically.
Well,
You know?
I think, Brian, you have 2 things. You've got a consummate musician and a wild man. So we can take our wild ideas to you, and you can turn them into
Yeah, I can kind of channel those
sophisticated
ideas
musical
and
thoughts. Whereas we're Johnny said it earlier, we're kind of crude with our musical abilities. Brian's not crude at all.
right.
And that really was liberating to get in there in that studio and just, you know, lay down our rough ideas and have him, you know, turn them into magic. You know,
Put a beat to it.
well, not just a beat,
I just want to make people dance.
put a beat to it.
Well, that's a lot.
Tap your toe.
A good beat's important, but he did more than put a good
Oh
beat
yeah,
to it.
no doubt.
He brought a lot of melodic
Yeah.
ideas to it, and he brought a lot of shape and form to it.
I think, well, I would like to talk about one song, one lyric. I think when you get questions or get asked a lot about the song, Thank You, Lord. Don't you? I think, yeah?
Yeah, everybody likes
We've
it.
only done 1 interview, so.
But he did ask it
And
5
we did get
times.
questions.
Well, I read some reviews and I read some interviews what we've done that are on the internet, and they focus much on that song.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that? I mean, or is it something?
No, you're always happy for a song that you're, you know.
I like the
is a
song.
musician, you know, Brian. That was one that Brian did when the music was already done, and I had lyrics. Originally, that song is more like, you know, thank you, Lord. You know, like kind of a chugging type thing. And then
Angry outsider punk cowboy song.
kind of a punky type, you know,
Yeah.
E-A-G, you know. It was Fireworks Factory faster. Kind of. But then Brian had this really cool music, and then and I was just, and I had those lyrics, or it starts throwing the lyrics on, and then it seemed like, well, this kind of fits, because the lyrics were really, it didn't really work in the other thing probably that well, but. Yeah,
Is it you some kind of sort of tongue-in-cheek lyric, or are you really serious with it because you thank the Lord for the hurricane and for?
well, yeah, I think it's you know, I mean, serious is, you know,
It's a serious song.
yeah, that's a big word, but it was. It was not. It's not tongue-in-cheek. I mean, I think if you gonna say you believe in God, then you do have to thank Him for the hurricane, and you got to thank Him for the little baby, and you got, you know. But mostly people are just concentrating on the little baby, you know. So.
Yeah, if God's God, God's God.
Yeah.
And everything that happens because God made it happen. God didn't just make the little valentines float down and the little chocolate bars float out of the sky and land in your lap. You know, God made poison and snakes and mosquitoes and the bad too. You have to embrace it all.
But what is it?